Hello and welcome to GCSE Psychology. This is a fantastic new opportunity to learn about yourself while you're studying for an academic subject. Psychology is taught by two specialist teachers, myself, Mrs. Cador, and also Mrs. Norton, and between us we have over, I'd say about 25 years worth of experience between us. We both mark for the exam boards and we specialise in different areas within psychology, so it's all very exciting. So I'm going to talk you through what we do in psychology and what the GCSE is all about, and it's still really exciting for us because it's still so new. So lots of people do psychology for many, many reasons. Often it is to get a better understanding of why they behave the way they do, why they think the thoughts that they have, why they are affected by certain people and not by others. Or maybe you just want to learn a little bit more about thoughts and feelings and the connections to your body. But with all of these things, psychology offers you a really incredible platform to learn more about yourself, to understand the world around you and the people who you interact with every day. So it's a fantastic basis for any further study in any subject area of your choice, really. So here's the exam overview. There are two papers that you will have to take at the end of year 11. And as you can see on the screen, it's split between paper 1 and paper 2. And so we start with the paper 1 topics in year 10, and we start with the brain and neuropsychology. It's pretty much jumping in at the deep end, to be honest, but all our students really value the opportunity to understand what's going on in their heads and get a little bit of biology foundation knowledge before we go on to looking at any of the other topics. So paper 1's a lot bigger. That will take an hour and 45 minutes, and then the paper 2 is slightly shorter at 1 hour 20 minutes, and that includes the different options that we have chosen as a school, which is criminal psychology and looking at the self. And I'm going to go on to have a little chat about all of these now. Okay, so looking in a little bit more detail then at these year 10 topics. First up, we've got the brain and neuropsychology. Our current students absolutely love this topic. It's a really great foundational place to start because it looks at the different areas of our brain, what behaviours are linked with those different areas of the brain, and how those parts of the brain can be affected by damage and what happens to our behaviour subsequently. So it's a really, really interesting. We get really, really detailed. We go into the synaptic transmission, and looking at neurons as well. So if you like biology, this is a topic for you. Secondly, we go on to psychological problems. And we talk a lot about psychological problems in psychology, obviously. It's all about different types of behaviour and different ways of thinking. And this is something that definitely we take into our A-level studies, looking at different psychopathological problems. So in GCSE we look at depression and we look at addiction, how they develop in an individual, how the environment can precipitate that, and also what kind of things we can put in place to treat and manage those kind of issues. Following psychological problems, we look at development. And we're taking you right back to when you were a baby and how your early childhood can affect all of your thoughts and your actions as you grow up. So the development, child development is a really interesting and very vital part of our understanding of who we are. And that is a very wonderful topic for that students tell us all the time they really enjoy it. And then we'll go on to looking at memory and how your memory works. And we are really good at forgetting stuff, like walking into a room and not remembering what you walked in for and having to retrace your steps. We look at techniques to improving memory, to understanding some of the memory models, and also we give you some really good keys as to how to revise for any curriculum subject, and it's really helpful in everyday life as well. At the end of our year 10, hopefully we should have covered all of those 4, including research methods. Now, research methods is a little different because research methods is a skill in understanding how to look at data, how to analyze data, quantitative data and qualitative. So looking at numerical data and also rich, in-depth interview data. And all of these 4 topics in year 10 include research methods. We look at evidence to support theories and studies as we go through the topics. So having a good understanding of research methods is really important. And that's something that we really value highly. So math skill is definitely required. In year 11, we will continue looking at the paper 1 topic of social influence. And this is a topic that piques a lot of people's interests because it includes things like, why do we conform to other people and what they want to do? Why do we follow our friends? Why do we use the same lingo as the people around us? What makes us different from other groups of people? Why do we obey authority figures? What makes somebody authoritative in our lives? How do we let people speak into our lives? It's everything to do with how you interact with the world around you and the individuals around you and the groups of people around you. We're currently looking at social influence with the year 10s at the moment, and they are thoroughly enjoying discussion. Discussion is a major part of what we do in psychology, and everybody's opinion is valued. Once we finish social influence, we will then look at some of the extra topics that we look at for the second paper. So starting with criminal psychology, looking at the explanations for why people become criminals. What does it mean to have criminal behaviour? Is it something to do with your background and your genes, or is it your environment that you're living in that promotes this criminality? And how on earth do we treat criminals? How do we work with people who are in the criminal justice system, and how do we bring rehabilitation into their lives? After criminal psychology, we'll look at the self, and this is very exciting. This is all about what makes you who you are. So we're going to look back at some good old personality tests and try and identify different areas of who we are. So what about our self-confidence, our self-efficacy, what makes us resilient, and all those other kind of really key elements that make us the person that we are. So students are looking forward to that one. We have got debates here in the Year 11 topics, but actually debates is something that we will be looking through during both years as well. And this is things like social and cultural issues, reductionism and holism debates, ethics. And so you're going to have a real flavour of debates, and we'll review and revise those in Year 11. And again, there is research methods that you will have to cover in that year as well. These are the different types of questions that you can expect to see in the exam in Year 11. And I've given you a couple of little examples here. You've got multiple choice option. We've got short answer questions, long answer questions. Here in front, you can see a research method question where they will give you some data and they will ask you to explain the conclusions that you can identify from the research. We do look at application skill and evaluation skill as well. So throughout the course, you will be honing some really excellent techniques and exam skills that can help you in the future. What can you do with psychology? So much. You can learn more about yourself, which I think is probably the most important thing. You can learn about the people around you. As I've mentioned before, you can develop great skills in assessment and evaluation and analysis. You can understand the connection between your body and mind, and also look at behaviour in different contexts and situations. Different cultures experience different things. The requirements for psychology: we do expect you to have a good grasp of mathematical knowledge, like I've mentioned before. It helps if you have an enthusiasm for the study of human biology, and we do use the scientific method. It's great if you have a readiness to argue from different perspectives, a willingness to participate in discussions and debate, and the confidence to take risks. Okay, even if you answer questions wrong, it doesn't matter. We love having discussions, and we hope that if you do psychology, you'll find each class a safe space to explore this new topic and this new subject. And we also have a lot of fun, so definitely bring your sense of humour with you. This is what a couple of our current students have said about GCSE psychology. They're all really enjoying it. They say they're making progress. They really enjoy the different topics that they're learning about. They love the discussion that we have in class. They feel safe participating, and they are all very, very enthusiastic about psychology. So we hope to see you in our classes next year too. Thank you.